Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. We got the Selma today, the Tier 9 Czech light tank-ish. Medium light tank. The Blesk, a Tier 8, can be played more like a traditional light tank. It has the same idea of the mid to late game finisher kind of thing. But this thing's massive. Look at the size of it compared to this 12T. So using some of the positions and bushes and things that a 12T or even the Blesk, a smaller light tank, can use is very difficult with the Selma. You also get tempted to jump on things early thinking you're going to just gun them down. And while the gun is potent and it can tear off a significant amount of hit points, you got to have guys in the 400 to 500 realm and a decent result on your shots to kind of take them out. Still, it can delete up to 600-700 hit point tanks, but it is very tempting to try to do that too early. So what you've got to do with this thing is, while it's not great at the traditional scout role, is try to get to the mid to late game. The problem with that idea is oftentimes your team still needs a scout. So this is where I'm struggling with this tank. But I have a good result on this one. I am running a CVS, I've got optics, and I've got an LNES on this. More of a traditional scout kind of setup. You can run a second setup. I'm not really sure what I have on it, to be honest. For more combat oriented, this is a map where it's kind of your playstyle that's going to determine which one you're going to use. I lean towards the scout setup on this map because there are some situations where having better vision is going to help you out. It is a relatively wide open map. So we're going to head down here towards the middle. What I want to do is punish anybody who might be trying to get up the hill. Or maybe spot somebody, get some shots for somebody. There we go. So we want to hit this guy. Okay, so we put some good hits on it. Some other people get some shots. We get 395 assists. So we're combined, 500 something. He gets hit again. Doesn't die, unfortunately. Already takes a stab. I knew that was coming. That's why I was running for that. Artie will aim in on that ramp, guys, and that's exactly what they're looking for. So if you just back out or futz around, they will take a shot. So I used the speed, not amazing speed, but pretty good speed to get the hell out of the way. All right, there's the T30. I expected to get lit, and I did. So we're going to do the same thing. Ram on the brakes and run away, because Artie might still be looking in that space. All right, so we'll cover up with the hard cover, avoid the Artie shooting at us. There is one in the game. 212 has a fairly decently quick reload rate. So don't sleep on the 212, even though it's a tier 9. It reloads relatively quickly. I have misjudged the 212 on many occasions. The 12T, I'm going to get away from him just in case the Artie wants to take a stab at him. I don't want to get caught in the crossfire. There we go. So he runs, spins. I'm going to go up the hill. I kind of expected the T30 to see me. This is what I'm talking about. Its camo is decent. All right, there we go. So he doesn't actually get a line of sight on me till then, and it's near the edge of the line. I still kind of expected to be seen, but he does not see me. That works for me. Love it. All right, so we've got the hill. Like, all right, can I shoot somebody? What we got going on here? And, oh, he's going across. Oh, geez, okay. Boom, look at that. Just finished. All right, early in the game, an opportunity to finish a guy. He only had about 400 hit points. Notice that I'm not going to reload. I knew the even 90 was still up there, fellas. So I think I've got enough shells to take care of him right here. He definitely knows I'm here now. See, I didn't see him earlier. I'm like, where is that guy? Opportunity to kill off the Caliban. He had no idea it was there because I wasn't spotted going up the hill. So I'm wondering, maybe is the... Oh, even 90 got killed. So that was helpful. Somebody else killed him. We'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Use those shells. Did I get lit? I did, and he misses, thank goodness. We'll back out. My team is pushing through, so I'm not worried about being shot in the rear end. You do need to watch that on the carrier right here. If they were pushing around, then they have more opportunity to shoot you. I'm going to be honest with this position, guys. I find this position to look good on paper and to, in practice, not be that great. Notice I'm not even spotting guys over on their sniper hill. I can see the T30, but I can't see anybody on their sniper hill. It's not quite close enough, even with decent burn through, to see much. Their Forest Spirit drowned. That's very helpful. take a peek, get positioned, and let's see if we can shoot this guy. Gonna back out. I really stood in a little more than I should have. The danger with what I just did is getting lit from their sniper position if they have anybody with decent view range. I was a little bit surprised the T-30 didn't see me, but I didn't lose enough camo on shooting for him to get that. And maybe he doesn't have a fantastic spotting crew. Our guys pushing down low are doing a nice job, but unfortunately they're going to make some mistakes and kind of get torn up pushing. I'm working around all these little edges trying to find a shot. It's hard to do. It's not a very tall tank, so working around through this without getting on soap rocks and getting stuck is not easy. Let's okay. And by the time I get there, he's outside of my spotting range, so I can't quite see him. We're in great shape. This is where you want to get to with this tank. It's a finisher. The problem with the whole idea of the finisher is, I might take some shots here, I think. Yeah, there we go. I get nothing. What, 50? Did get me spotted. I'm going to get out. I don't want that T-30 to hit me. The problem with the idea of the finisher, it's one thing to go, hey, I need to get this to the medium or to the mid to late game. That's where it shines. Well, did your team set yourself up to be able to do that? Did they set themselves up? We're losing some tanks. This is where I was talking about that push in the north starts going a little bit poorly. They've evened it up a little bit to 7 and 4. So there's nothing else going on up top. There's no reason sitting up there. I don't really have any shots. I'm tempting a Ho-Ri 1 and a T-30 to get a shot on me based on the way I'm poking and shooting. Let's go somewhere else and see what we can do. We are heavily invested in the south, so I'm going to come over here and support, although they start getting tore up. And I would really like to do is find this T-30 and take him out. And there he is, and he's not looking at me. He's got to turn. Let's put some shots and get out of there. Another shot comes in. I think the Ho-Ri, maybe he stabbed a shot off at me. Don't know. So we're going to force a reload. Not a fantastic spot. The Grom dies. I was really hoping to get a little more damage out of T-30, but I'd have some help behind me. I just saw that shot go in, so that's a good thing. I'm going to hang out here for a bit. I'm going to make sure I am dark before I move. I don't want him to know where I'm shifting around. So I sat there for quite a while, got reloaded. And now, unfortunately, he's not lit, so I don't know exactly where his gun is. Good news is I'm not being spotted by their guys up top. So I'm like, okay, now I'm sort of stuck. This is not fantastic, and our guys are bleeding. We're starting to lose fellas. Well, look at this guy. So the Ho-Ri 1 came down the hill a little bit. I don't know if maybe he was helping, trying to push forward. See if I can get a shot on him. I can't. Can't quite see him. If I go too much further forward, the T-30 will see me. Oh, look, the T-30 moved. Good on him. His gun was towards me, but he ran off. Somebody spotted him, and that was very helpful because now I can move forward. I'm hoping I don't get spotted here by the guys in the bushes ahead of me there. Bit of a calculated risk. The Ho-Ri is seen. T-30. T-30's marker is around the corner. He's low hit points. So I can start working maybe some shots on the Ho-Ri 1. See if we can get some shots in his side. There we go. Didn't get lit. Look at that. Did not get lit. Very nice. So we'll come out of there. We'll force the reload with C. The T-30 is dead. So the T-30 is no longer there. I don't know that right now. I'm actually coming around the corner, and that takes me a few potatoes to figure out he died to somebody. So it's 8-6. Taking the lead back. Our south kind of got tore up. Our north kind of got tore up. We got some low hit point guys. So we got to be careful. We're trying to push into defenders with some pretty big guns. At least the Ho-Ri's got a big gun. There's an 832 camping somewhere. See the Bat Chat going across. He might give me some opportunities. There's the Scorpion. So I see where he is and decide now I want to go back around. He dies. That was good. I want to go back around and see if we can start figuring out the T-832. There he is right there. Our Char Future is low hit points. Oh, there goes their Char. I don't even know if I hit him once. Just bad gunnery. I'm shooting behind him. There was no lead fire there. It was just terrible. Absolutely atrocious. So we'll force a reload there. Oh, I did get lit. Okay. Aha. There's a super right there. Grr. Jam on the brakes so I don't eat a shot pushing in. He takes a hit. That's good. Now I'm near a reload, so let's push up here. He takes another hit. That's perfect. Another hit. Very nice. This is where crossfires. Both of these caps are pretty defendable, but once you start getting lit, there's, especially if you own the south like we do down here in the southeast and you own the north, Yes, there's some good camo and a little bit of cover up here, so you can tear up people who are being less than cautious pushing. But once you start getting some crossfires like we have, i.e. the Super just learned that, there's just too many angles and it's very difficult to defend. If you're spotted. If you're not spotted, you can tear people up pretty well. So what I need to do is get rid of this T832. He's the thing that's holding it. You can see the rest of them are all up there in the corner. We kill this T832 and we can start finishing this thing off. 12T is already spotted up into the bush. He's not seeing any of them, so no sense in me worrying about it. He's got that covered. That dude gets hit. And I'm thinking, really, I just need to kind of drive up behind him if I can do that without being spotted. Come across here. And we find the arty. Somebody spots him, that's great. We'll just gun him down. This thing is great for this kind of stuff. There he goes. Back out of it. Reloading. I don't want to go pushing in too hard while I'm reloading. I really want to avoid getting thumped by the Ho-Ri 1. I get a little stuck on this stuff. Not that familiar with this, and I'm knocking trees down right and left. Alright, there's the 832. He's got 1,200 hit points. We have a Char. See another dude moving around. I'm going to ignore him for the moment. We need to take out the 832. Maybe somebody's got crossfire. He's gone dark anyway. 103 dies trying to push. So we're going to come around here. Jump on this guy. We do eat the shot. I kind of figured that. Gonna back out of this, and he dies. So the Char saw the opportunity. I spend a few hit points getting rid of that dude, and up to 2,700 damage. 2 kills and 582 assist. What did I do to him? 223, 700 or so, 800 damage into that thing, because I had shots where I could pin virtually all the shots and a range at which I wasn't missing very much, if at all. Really, you get guys into the 700 to 800 range if you're able to get the pins and the shots. They are, one-shottable, I guess. They are close-outable to you. We need to get rid of this Char. We don't want him working around behind us. We're in great shape. I think the Mutts actually eventually wins this. Nice damage by the artillery to bring that guy down to a one-shot. I think he's used all his shells. I'm going to make sure he died. Okay, so he's gone. That's good. Just didn't want him loose behind us. Mobility and the ability to shut things down, that's what you're doing this part of the game, mid to late game. Pay attention to the whole map. I saw that going on. I headed that way. Wasn't able to get any in there and get any hit points, and it didn't turn out to be a problem because the Mutts won, but had the Mutts lost, I'd have gone in there and been able to shut down the Char. Then the last 2 of them are just camping in the back right there. Bat Chat's getting them lit. Here comes the Char. And I'm going to W. I just want to get forward and see how many more hit points I can get. Artie takes a shot in there. Don't know if they hit it. Bat Chat's running around. He's a one-shot, so he can't really push in there. It's possible I pop up and over and they're both looking and kill me, but they weren't, so that's fantastic. Ho-Ri kills the Char. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to prioritize the Ho-Ri. And then I'm going to put the rest of them on this guy. We'll auto-aim for those 2. And do we have enough? We do. No, we don't. The RHM actually got the last kill. I was close. Artie splashes me. Thank you. 3,305 damage. 584 assist on the closeout machine. This thing is a closeout machine. I don't have a particularly good win rate on it. I'm still trying to figure it out. I tend to die pretty quickly in a lot of games. But I also have big games like this. This is not a massive game, but it's a pretty good game. Ends up being an ace tanker, I think. Or maybe it's just a class 1. Let's find out here. Let me look at it. I think it's a class 1, actually. Yeah, class 1. So not quite an ace tanker on it. So I tend to either die way early or have big games. There's not a whole lot of in-between with this tank. But that's one of the classic ways to play it. Get to the mid to late game. And again, as I stated several times already, that is not necessarily always up to you in terms of your team making you able to do something. You can get to the mid to late game on a Rompel going against you and still not be able to do much with it. But if you're able to open up the map a little bit and be able to use its mobility and its closeout ability with its gun. You can have some pretty good games with it, and it is kind of fun doing that, seeing that health bar just decrease because you're just laying into those guys. But that's, for me anyway, that's been the route to success when I have had success with the Selma. I think the Blesk and the T-17 do a little bit better job of light tanking. I think the T-17 really is just a medium tank with the autoloader. The Blesk is closer to a light tank, at least in my opinion. This thing is not a fantastic light tank, but you probably have to play it like that on occasion, or maybe more than on occasion, because if you're the only tier 9 light tank, that you're the light tank. You got to try to do your best with it, but avoid getting overexposed early, which is what you would do with any tank, but especially with this thing. Avoid getting your fangs out and thinking you're going to gun things down early. Take an opportunity like I did on the Caliban, or whatever that was, Cobra. Was it a Cobra Caliban? I don't know. What was it? Caliban. Obviously, in that opportunity, take that. But avoid trying to force those opportunities. And then mid to late game with hit points, you can do things like I did, where you run in and just assassinate things. That is all I've got for today. Let me know how you're doing with the, which one is this? Selma. How are you doing with the Selma if you got it? Which one do you like best? I think I like the T-17. I like the Blesk. I do better with the Blesk. I'm struggling with this, but we'll see if I can learn some lessons and get better at it. So like I said, let me know how you're doing with it. That's all I've got. My mouth has stopped working. I've done 3 videos. It's time to take a break. See ya.